Um, Good morning, and giving praise to the Creator, the Most High God. I thank brothers and sisters who are here today, and basically, I wanted to make this video because they say last week Biden signed a bill Juneteenth that Black people are no longer slaves in America. So the reason for this video is state that this. If you people believe that Black people are free in America, then the thing is, Biden done lied to you, the government done lied to you, white people done lied to you, and our people were stupid for believing this, right? And the reason why this is said because the fact is, Black people has never been free, and we never gonna be free until we go back to our homeland. The Emancipation Proclamation that was written back in 1865 from Abraham Lincoln. And I just wanted to read this, and shows right here that he says, but mid-1862, as thousands of slaves fled to join the invading Northern armies, Lincoln was convinced that abolition had become a sound military strategy, as well as the morally correct path. On September 22nd, soon after the Union victory of Antietam, he issued a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation declaring that as of January 1st, 1863, all slaves in the rebellious states shall be thenceforth and forever free. While the Emancipation Proclamation did not free a single slave, it was an important turning point in the war, transforming the fight to preserve the nation into the battle for human freedom. Lincoln's position on slavery. Slavery was unqualified evil to the Negroes. The white men in the state, said Abraham Lincoln in the 1850s. Yet in his first inaugural address, Lincoln declared that he had no purpose, directly or indirectly, to interfere with slavery and the state where it exists. The United States, Lincoln was bound by a constitution that protected slavery in any state where citizens wanted it. As commander-in-chief of the armed force in the Civil War, Lincoln also worried about the support of the borders, slave states, and the Northern Democrat. These groups probably would have turned against the war for the Union if the Republican had made a move against slavery in 1861. So the thing is, Abraham stands that he would not interfere with dealing with the situation of freeing Black people in America. His view that he was not going to free Blacks, no longer, that we are still slaves today. So the thing is, Biden passed a bill a week ago saying that Black people are free, and this thing what they call Juneteenth. They just renamed it, but it was really called the Emancipation Proclamation due to the fact is that they claim that Abraham Lincoln signed this bill in order to make Black people free from America. And this is what Biden said last week. So now I want to read to you in the Word of God when we talk about the proclamation, when people was free, they was claiming liberty, that they was able to return to their homeland. So the fact is, if Biden passed this bill Juneteenth, saying that Black people are no longer slaves, where are Black people's reparations that Black people are able to return to their homeland and to live amongst their people, amongst their ancestors? According to the Word of God, I want to read to you some scriptures that talks about the proclamation that people were able to return home, right? And this is according to the proclamation said in Exodus 32:5. And when Aaron saw it, they built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to the Most High, right? Let me go grab my Bible. So the thing is, we talking about freedom. We talking about abolishing slavery, that black people are no longer to be slaves in America. Okay, if that was the case, then Biden, why is it that black people are not able to return to their homeland and live amongst their people and regain the land that was given to them by their God? That's the problem. So people feel as though, well, we are free, but it's only one day out of a month throughout the whole entire year that you celebrate Juneteenth now. And how stupid can our people be in order to call themselves trying to celebrate something that's given by a white man that's not given by God? Because when we talked about the regaining liberty, about the proclamation, we was talking about the feast day about Jubilee. And if you look up in Leviticus 25, it tells you about the Jubilee where our people works amongst one another, or even, once amongst their own people, that after 7 years, they was able to reclaim their liberty and return home. Not only when they was able to return home, but they was given the due process of what they worked for, as far as with money, cattle, and land. So the fact is this, right? If Biden has given you Juneteenth to say that black people are free, why are black people not returning to their homeland? And why are black people not giving the land, the money that they work for, that they are entitled to, in order for them to go home and rebuild and reestablish their families amongst their people? If this is supposed to be Juneteenth, right? So I want to go to Exodus 32, and we just gonna read some scriptures about the proclamation, because people got to kind of twist it. And I want to read from the first verse. It says, and when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, up, make us God which shall go before us. For as this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons and your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hands, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made proclamation, said, tomorrow is a feast to the Most High. And they rose up early in the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings until the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. So the thing is, we talking about a proclamation, we talking about proclaiming liberty, people being able to return to their homeland and be amongst their family, not only by them being able to return home, but they are given a due process of the things that they are entitled to, as far as money, cattle, and land, to rebuild and to reestablish their family. So if this is so much of a proclamation that Biden has given the black people, why are black people not going home? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to 1 Kings 15:22. It said that King Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah, none exempt, and they took away the stones of Ramah and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha had built, and King Asa built with them Geba, Benjamin, and Mizpah. So that means that they had removed all the idols out of the land of where they was given inheritance to, because at that time Israel was in captivity. So The thing is, you're given a proclamation of liberty to be returned to your people, to your land, to your culture, and to reestablish your heritage. Now, Abraham Lincoln said he was against the fact of giving black people freedom, that he didn't want nothing to do with it because he knew how it would affect the white people in the South if he were to give freedom to the black people, how it would cause friction between the people in the South. You see what I'm saying? So now we see over here in modern times that we see Biden over here talking about Juneteenth, that black people are no longer slaves. Biden, where is the land that was given to our people that we are able to return home? Where is the money that we are given for our ancestors who slaved and built America? Where's the money that we are entitled to? Where's the cattle that is given to us in order us to preserve agriculture and that we are given food, being able to feed our family? Where's the cattle that's given to us? We supposed to be on our way back to Africa. We supposed to be on our way back to the land where we came from. How can you say you have Juneteenth, that you are no longer a slave? Brothers and sisters who celebrate Juneteenth, I'm going to ask y'all this. Did you tear up your birth certificate and your social security card to say that you are no longer being a slave, that you are no longer logged as a slave, that you are no longer being watched as a slave? This is what all consists of Juneteenth. Why is it that you still have a birth certificate? Why is it that you still have a social security number? It's just like when you go to jail, you get a number. When I went to jail, my number was B52706. And that number was followed throughout the whole 3 years that I was locked up. Every time I was called by B52706. This was my inmate number. You see what I'm saying? We here in America, we have a social security number. And that social security number tracks you everywhere you go. The birth certificate is this. When a child is born, right, that child is given a certificate of birth with the parent's name on, the mother and the father. Why is it that the system have that information of every child that is born in America? A child is put in maternity ward when they are born. Understand this. You are a slave from birth. You are being recorded from birth, from the age until you die. Understand this. So if Biden gave you freedom from being a slave, why have not every black person in America gotten up and got on either a boat or a plane and returned home to Africa and claimed the land that was given to them? So when Biden made this bill pass, where is the reparation? Where is the money to restore our culture, our land, our people? Where is the money that's given to us to be able to take care of our families? Where is the cattle that's given to us to be able to feed our families? If you claim to be free from slavery, ain't nowhere in the world I should be able to I shouldn't even have to go to work. I should not still be working for the paleface. Why is it that we still work for the paleface? If you still work for the paleface, the white man, you are not free. Let me read what God says about it, about when a man. Now, this is if you choose to stay and worship your master, live amongst your master, right? Because he tells you, if you hear it, then we say, okay, let's go here. Exodus. Okay, here we go. Exodus 21. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve, and the 7 he shall go out free for nothing. This is what we're talking about, freedom. It said if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. Meaning, if he came into slavery with his wife, he shall leave with his wife. Now watch this. It said, if his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters. Meaning, if your master give you a wife, and y'all bear sons and daughters, that son and daughter belongs to that master, because that master is the one that gave you a wife. He said, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. That meaning, say, if you love your master, you are forever a slave to your master, because you love your master. Let's go to Leviticus 25, right? And this talks about the Jubilee, about claiming freedom, what binding claims that you have, right? Leviticus 25, right? And we're talking about the Jubilee, the 50th year, what it says Jubilee. And the Most High spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Most High. 6 years thou shalt sow the fields, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard and gather in the fruits thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Most High. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. That which groweth of your own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourn with thee, and for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 77, and the space 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause a trumpet of the Jubilee sound of the 10th day of the 7th month, in the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land, and ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow neither reap that which groweth of itself, or nor gather the grapes in it of the vine undressed. Meaning you are not able to till till your land, right? For it is a jubilee; it shall be holy unto you. You shall eat the increase thereof of the field, and the year of this jubilee you shall return every man unto his possession. Every man shall go to where they belong, where they came from. And it said, and if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buy aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. According to the numbers of year after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the numbers of years of the fruit, ye shall sell unto thee. According to the multitude of years, thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years. And this is what we're going through right now, because they're increasing the price on everything, right? The redemption of land, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 15th chapter. It's called God's liberty, right? This is what God says, according to claiming freedom. Deuteronomy is 15 calls the year of release. At the end of every 7 years, thou shalt make a release, and this is the manner of the release. Every creditor that lendeth aught unto his neighbor shall release it. He shall not exact of his neighbor or of his brother, because it is called the Most High's release. Of a foreigner thou mayest exact it again, but that which is thine with thy brother, thy hand shall release. Save when there shall be no poor among you, for the Most High shall greatly bless thee in the land which the Most High thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it. Only if thou carefully hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy God, to observe to do all these commandments which I command thee this day. For the Most High thy God blessed thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow, and thou shalt reign over many nations, but thou shalt not reign over thee. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within of thy gates, and thy land which the Most High thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thy heart, nor shut thy hand from thy poor brother. This is everything when we're talking about the year of release. We're talking about the Jubilee, meaning that people are able to return to their land, to be amongst their families, that are given the things that they are entitled to, as far as with money, cattle, and land, to reestablish themselves as a family and build themselves as a nation, to come together as a people, right? Now, Biden so much did this, passed a bill that's given a year of release, or what we would say the Jubilee. Why is it that Black people have not returned to Africa, to being able to give back to their people what they're entitled to? This is the things where our people is dealing with false information, they're dealing with lies, they're dealing with deceit. So you claim to be free because Joe Biden signed a bill that said that Black people are no longer slaves to America. But in the whole grand scheme and the scam of things, that you are still building America because you still work for the paleface. This is the problem with Juneteenth. This is the problem with the people who believe these things. So if you believe that you are free, you still have a social security card, meaning you still have a number, you still have a birth certificate. Every child that is born here in America is being recorded as a slave. So that means when you have a child in America, you should not have to sign a birth certificate, nor be given a social security card for your child that's been born in America be documented as a slave. If that's so be it, then Joe Biden has lied to you, America has lied to you, and you are fooled for believing what it is that the paleface say. That being said, I like to give praise to the Most High, the Creator, for letting me be able to look up this information and bring it to the people to say that our people are being deceived. And if you celebrate Juneteenth, you, my friend, have been deceived and you have been fooled. and giving praises to the Creator. Like to say Selah is what David said, and peace and blessings to brothers and sisters who wish to establish peace and blessings to their people and to build a nation. Because right now we are being cursed and we are, uh, you know what I'm saying? We have no peace. There's no peace amongst our people in America. There's no blessing given to our people unless we are keeping the laws of God. So talk to you then, and that will end my video. See you next time.